Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to another edition of NoDQ&A video right here on NoDQ.com and the YouTube channel as always. Thank you for continuing to support NoDQ&A video, and if you're watching for the first time, thank you for checking out today's video. If you enjoy it, please share it on Facebook and Twitter. Keep spreading the word about NoDQ&A video. I'm trying to reach 40,000 subscribers by January 1st, so hopefully I'll make that goal. With that being said, let's get right down to your questions via spring.me/AaronRift. First one today comes from I Like Chicken 03. Don't we all like chicken? What do you think of Randy Orton punting the Big Show? If it is unbanned, I think it'll be good for his character. It will make him a better heel with a little bit more unpredictability like he had in 2009. What are your thoughts? Well, on paper, it sounds like a good idea to have Randy Orton bring back the punt. They were doing this whole storyline where Randy Orton was considered to be soft by Triple H, and Orton needed to bring back that edge that he used to have. You know, the old Viper that would DDT and knock out Stephanie McMahon. Triple H wanted that Orton back, so makes sense for Orton to bring back the punt. The problem was the execution, the fact that it was at Survivor Series and nobody cared. The crowd was completely dead for the entire Randy Orton versus Big Show match, and when Orton went for the punt and hit it, the crowd didn't even react to it. So, I mean, that was definitely a negative. In an ideal circumstance, Orton would have done that punt and the crowd would have gone crazy and it would have gotten this huge pop, but that didn't happen. So, yeah, that was a letdown. But, you know, it's something that makes sense for the storyline. You know, Randy Orton is back in that place where he used to be, and it's good for Orton to be able to get some clean wins. I mean, I wasn't even a big fan of Triple H and Stephanie coming out there. I think that Orton should have just beat Big Show clean in the middle. You know, if you're trying to give Orton some credibility as a heel, especially the top heel who's the champion, I think it would have done him better to actually get a 100% clean win over Big Show, but that's just my opinion. All right, this one comes from Dave451985. Could you see the TLC main event ending happening where John Cena and Randy Orton both end up grabbing their respective titles so that the unification can be stalled for WrestleMania? I just don't see WWE unifying the titles at a pay-per-view like this one. Well, that's certainly a possibility, but I think it's a bad idea to have any kind of screw job at TLC. I just think it's bad for business, to put it in the way Triple H might put it. The thing is, WWE has been on a streak of mediocre pay-per-views, and do you really want to have yet another screw job finish at TLC? But yeah, there's a lot of people speculating that John Cena will grab the WWE title and Orton will grab the world title, and then that'll keep the titles separate for the time being, and maybe they'll do something at WrestleMania. I don't know what the case is at this point, but if they're gonna bother going through with this match at TLC, then you might as well have a decisive winner. But knowing how WWE operates, you know, anything is possible. All right, this one comes from Deadman299. Hey Aaron, please answer in video. Since WWE is putting Daniel Bryan and CM Punk together as a tag team, does this lead to the match at WrestleMania? And what do you think of having the title unification match at TLC? Greetings from Germany. Well, I already talked about the TLC unification match, or whatever they're calling it. As far as Daniel Bryan and CM Punk having a match at WrestleMania, I've talked about this before. In my opinion, that's your best option, to have CM Punk and Daniel Bryan go out there one-on-one at WrestleMania and let them have the show-stealing match that they can have. Let them have the Savage and Steamboat, and then you can have John Cena and Randy Orton or whoever they put in the main event as the Hogan and Andre. I mean, I think fans would be satisfied with that as much as internet fans are going to be satisfied with WWE. You know, people have been asking me, I got another question here about the idea of CM Punk versus Randy Orton at WrestleMania. You could do that. You could have CM Punk versus Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan versus John Cena, a rematch from SummerSlam. That's a way WWE could go. When I look at possible opponents for Daniel Bryan, I think you either have to put him in there with Punk or put him in there with Cena, one or the other. But hopefully we get one of those matches. It would be a shame if Daniel Bryan and CM Punk are stuck in like some 6-man tag team match or something along those lines. I want to see them in a high-profile match at WrestleMania, and I think that if you don't do that, you're going to have a lot of unhappy fans. But then again, WWE's only looking at the money. It's all about the money to them, and as long as they're profitable, it doesn't matter what the fans think. At least on the internet, WWE is looking at the bottom line, and they're going to do what they feel makes them the most money. So, hopefully for us fans, we get that Bryan and Punk match, or even Bryan and Cena and Punk and Orton. We'll just have to wait and see what WWE has planned for everybody. All right, this one comes from Revelation 27. Hey Aaron, big fan from New Orleans. Do you think Mickie James will return to WWE soon, and do you think it's best for business? Please answer in video. I think it's definitely a good idea to have her around in some capacity, have her at the Performance Center, have her help train some of the younger women that are coming in. I think that that's definitely a positive step to help out the younger talent and the divas that are coming in. As far as her being on television again, I mean, I don't know if she's going to be coming back as a regular. I don't know if that's in WWE's plans, but I could definitely, at the very least, see her making an occasional appearance, maybe even coming back for WrestleMania. I mean, that would be a great way to utilize her and have her in a match with maybe the Total Divas, something like that they could do. They had Trish Stratus come back for WrestleMania, so, I would not rule out Mickie James returning for maybe WrestleMania, and maybe she'll even come back on a more regular basis. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. All right, this one comes from Craig Humpage1. Hi, Aaron. You should do some more of those awesome best and worst videos that you used to do. Here's my question. Is there an argument that the, quote, 410 Triple H is actually a better wrestler than Bret Hart? I would say there's a good argument for that. Well, first off, you made the comment about the best and worst videos. I think I pretty much ran out of ideas for those, but if you guys want to make some suggestions of videos that I could do besides NoDQ&A video, go ahead and leave a comment and let me know what you think, some ideas you might have. As far as the Triple H 410 versus Bret Hart, who's the better wrestler, I mean, a lot of it's a matter of taste, but the thing about Bret Hart was, he was arguably the best technical wrestler of his era, and I don't think Triple H is as good technically as Bret Hart in the ring, but when you look at the entire sports entertainment package, I think you have to give Triple H the nod, because not only was he was very solid technically in the ring, no question, but Triple H could do different styles. He could do the hardcore matches with Cactus Jack. He could adapt to anybody's style. And Triple H, he has the charisma, and Bret Hart never really had all that charisma to begin with. And same thing with the promo and the mic skills. Triple H had that Bret Hart didn't have. So, I mean, when you look at the whole package, you have to go with Triple H. But in terms of just technical ability, I mean, very few people could measure up to Bret Hart in the ring and just making wrestling believable. I mean, Bret was great at that. When he was in the ring, you thought wrestling was real. I mean, that's how good he was and how convincing he was when he was wrestling people. So, it really depends on your taste. All right, this one comes from Kayfabe Candy Ass. Do you think Survivor Series isn't built up strong in part because of the, quote, false slump that WWE typically has after SummerSlam and before WrestleMania? You could say that, I guess, as an excuse, but you look at periods when WWE has done really well around the time of Survivor Series, so it's not always the case. I mean, I think the real reason is creative is in a bad position right now, and they're not doing what they need to be doing and producing the captivating television that they should be producing. I mean, I think that's what it comes down to, and you can say, yeah, it's because it's football season and that's why the ratings are down and all that, but that's only part of it. I mean, Survivor Series used to be a big deal to a lot of people, and Survivor Series used to have some very creative storylines going into the pay-per-view. You look back at 2002 with the Elimination Chamber. I mean, that was some great television that they had leading up to Survivor Series, and that pay-per-view was very memorable. And 2003 with Team Austin versus Team Bischoff. So you had a lot of great stuff from Survivor Series in previous years. So it's not just the fact that they're in a transitional period between the summer and WrestleMania season. I mean, it is a lot to do with the creative direction right now, and the fact that they're just not giving people television that is captivating and worth spending $50 to watch a pay-per-view. All right, last one today comes from Demented JRMY. Hey Aaron, do you miss WCW? Simple question here. The answer is yes, I do miss it. Not necessarily WCW as a standalone promotion, but I do miss the Monday Night Wars very much. I liked having two different shows and the competition, because when there's the competition, they brought out the best in each other. And as bad as WCW got in 2000, I mean, it was still an entertaining show. And looking back, it was very much a train wreck, and it was counterproductive and bad for business, the stuff that they were doing. But I still had fun watching the Nitro episodes that Russo was booking. The New Blood and Millionaires Club, and Kevin Nash running the gauntlet and pinning guys without actually having to touch them. I mean, it is awful as that stuff was. I mean, it was in fact train wreck television. It was so bad you couldn't look away. And at the end of the day, I like to be entertained. So I look at it from one perspective, the business side of it, but then I look at it as just wanting to sit back and enjoy it as a fan. And WCW, regardless of what you want to say about that period in 2000, those shows at times were very entertaining and were rarely boring, especially when Russo was around. I mean, the early 2000 WCW when Russo was gone, I mean, that stuff was very forgettable. But when he came back with Bischoff, I mean, I was definitely glued to the TV every week. All right, that'll wrap things up for this edition of No DQ&A video. Keep spreading the word. Thank you for checking out today's video. And make sure you send in your nominations for the 2013 NoDQ.com Year-End Awards. Go to NoDQ.com for more info on that. And I will see you guys next time for more No DQ&A video. Have a good Thanksgiving.